last minute from like Hakeem Jeffries. And I don't think Chuck Schumer has ever put his support
No,
behind him.
Hakeem and Barack Obama both gave these like tepid endorsements, even though they weren't endorsements.
Well,
Which
and
I
even when,
can't stand even more. I'm like, you guys could not be more fake. You totally want him to win because you don't want a Republican to win, but you know you shouldn't want him to win because he stands in opposition of everything that American values stand for. So just say no, I'm not going to endorse you, or say a full-throated yes. But the wishy-washy in the middle, I don't like it.
Well, Hakeem Jeffries was asked about whether or not Mondani is the future of the Democrat Party. This is what he had to say on that question.
Do you see Mandani as the future of the Democratic Party?
No, I think the future of the Democratic Party is going to fall, as far as we're concerned, relative to the House Democratic Caucus and members who are doing a great work all across the country as it relates to our need to both take back control of the House,
Spit it
but
out,
in doing
Hakeem.
so, make sure that we're communicating to the American
Look
people.
at Tapper's
we
face.
understand you
What?
deserve better than the country that you have received.
Do you see Mandani?
What is he saying?
I mean,
there was no answer. Again, no answer.
So he basically said no answer. The reports are that Obama, who has been campaigning in Virginia, has contacted Mondani and given he's like, I'll be here as a sounding board for you at any time. Like, that's the news report. But there's no, yes, go vote for Mondani, no support for him.
It's so weak.
It is weak.
It's so unprincipled. There's no conviction whatsoever. It's just whatever is not Republican. I'll just kind of help out
specifically
that.
Obama, because remember, during the election, he had this to say about Kamala Harris.
Remember,
for
he's talking to all those.
Yeah.
Just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
So I'm not going to play the whole clip here because we all remember this, but this is when he goes in, he scolds these black men for not voting for Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, you have the first black female governor of a southern former Confederate state, Virginia, who could potentially be governor.
She would be the first female governor, the first female black woman, and the NAACP endorsed Spanberger. And you got Barack Obama saying nothing. And I am like, where? Well, of course, it's 2025 because none of it makes sense. None of it. It's not consistent. It's not coherent. It is everything down party line and never even conceding that it might be a possibility that this runs counter to our narrative or this runs counter to reality. We just got to stick with the narrative all the time. And, I feel bad for Winsome Sears in that regard. She's
also, I mean, not to let the Republicans off the hook either, or Trump off the hook, but he didn't campaign or endorse Winsome Sears either.
No, until the last minute, until they realized, oh, dang, this is going to happen. And Spanberger is going to be our option. And then they kind of came out and he said on Air Force One or something, she's
meanwhile,
great. You've got Trump or Obama coming out to Virginia for Spanberger. They're all in.
But it's also interesting that if you were to look back at all this, the fact that they had to pull Barack Obama in to campaign for them after he didn't pull it for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
After nobody's asking for Kamala Harris to come out and speak for them. Nobody wants anything to do with the Bidens to come out and speak for them. Obviously, the Clintons, nobody wants them. And the only person that maybe might bring people out to vote, which I actually even question if Obama really brings anybody out of significance to vote, especially if you're going for a younger voter.
The groups that came out for Spanberger when Obama was speaking, they were big. But you're in Virginia. It's all blue up here in Northern Virginia. That's where he was. I think it was Alexandria. I don't know. But it's all blue. I mean,
but I just think it's interesting. That's the only leader that they could come out to. What they didn't send. It's not like they even split anything up. It's let's send Kamala to Virginia and
it's just
Obama to New
everything.
Jersey. Yeah.
Well, it's because they have a deep bench for hopefuls, what they hope are hopefuls for 2028, but they have no one leading the party. No one's asking Hakeem Jeffries to come to anything, or Chuck Schumer, or Nancy Pelosi. They have no leadership whatsoever.
And not even AOC, because AOC's too
Well, she was with
Democrat
Mondani.
socialist. Yeah, but
Mondani,
I mean, that's
I know.
a whole other thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I
mean, notice that the only person that went and stumped for Mondani that was Democrat, like a traditional Democrat, was Kathy Hochul, because she's the governor of the state.
She had to, and it was very, and even in post rally interviews,
she's been like herself.
No, he's not going to be able to raise taxes or lower taxes. It's just not going to happen. So, you know,
so yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be a rough night.